This is your Barbados Today morning news update for Monday, September the 10th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour, the Democratic Labour Party says Barbados could have gone to the International Monetary Fund in a stronger position. Speaking to a St. James South Constituency branch meeting in Wanstead Terrace last night, DLP President Verla de Pisa said if her party were allowed to remain in office long enough to sell off the Hilton Hotel and the Barbados National Oil Company Limited, the country will not be in the default position it's in now.
The amount of money that we are receiving from the IMF is roughly akin to what we would have achieved had we been allowed to complete the sales of the oil company and the Hilton. And at least with that money in our pockets, we would have gone to the IMF in a slightly stronger position than going in a default position. And we would know, because the private sector has been crying out, their terms of operation have changed. They can no longer get credit in the same way that they did, and some are being asked to front cash. Rich, running a business, you tend to at least have a 30-day credit period. But having to front cash could put companies in a cash flow crisis.
The DLP president said while her party would want to see Barbados do well even though they're not in office, government must come clean every step of the way with regards to the conditions of the IMF loan for $290 million.
And we would want, therefore, in the interests of disclosure, because that is the climate that we are operating in now, that we be told specifics about the IMF program, that we are aware what those benchmarks are that have to be met first in relation to the very first tranche. What are the benchmarks that we have to meet before we can receive that first set of money? The amounts seem fairly low in terms of, if you think about what our wage bill is and other recurring outgoings, it seems pretty low, and it probably means that we have to tighten our belts a whole lot more.
In other news now, the Barbados Union of Teachers is worried about the serious lack of security at a host of primary schools as the new term opens this morning. Apart from his concern of some schools not being ready to resume classes today, President of the BOT, Sean Spencer, is not at all happy that hundreds of children could become vulnerable to external interference due to the absence of security on the compounds.
We have a number of schools where we have security huts provided for security personnel, but there is no security personnel. Compounding the problem further in some cases is the lack of a security or perimeter fence. So we have a case, for instance, at St. Primary, where children occupy play areas which can be continuously traversed by livestock, as well as persons who are using the area as a shortcut to a mini mart. These are some of the concerns that we have on the table at present.
Okay. What are those schools have the security concerns?
There are no guards at Belmont Primary, St. Silas Primary, St. Mark's Primary, Mount Tabor Primary, and a host of other schools, St. Matthews as well.
A member of the Mia Motley-led government has suggested that the weight of the office at this time is taking a toll on cabinet ministers. Addressing the congregation of the Sons of God Apostolic Spiritual Baptist Church at the weekend to celebrate his May 24th election victory in Christchurch East, Minister of Energy and Water Resources Wilfred Abrams said the burden was particularly heavy on the shoulders of the Prime Minister in the prevailing economic circumstances. Abrams is therefore appealing to Barbadians, especially the church, to maintain their prayerful support for the administration.
I don't think any one of us currently in capital or the seat actually wants to be Prime Minister. I surely do not want to be Prime Minister. Well, not right now. What is placed upon her shoulders is a burden like none other. She's responsible for all of us. She's responsible for our country. She works 24 hours a day. And I find Mia Thank you, Barbados. I thank the PM for all of our hard work, and I ask you to live up in your prayers all the time. It is not easy. You had your support on the 24th, but we need that support, that constant support and upliftment in your prayers for us to be able to get it done.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
BIT's Central Bank Meets Blockchain Conference is the only conference in the world that brings together regulators, governments, and private entities to discuss how they might work together using blockchain to make a positive impact on the lives of the people in the Caribbean.
We are so proud to host this forum, which allows for constructive dialogue and engagement because it recognizes the transformative potential of distributed ledger technology and the work that BIT is doing in the region.
Blockchain technology has the power to address the demand for easier and real-time KYC solutions while improving overall KYC standards. With the advent of digital currency, these AML solutions can strengthen compliance like never before.
We have an excellent lineup of speakers, including our keynote speaker, the Honourable Mia Mottley, Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honourable Alden McLaughlin, Premier of the Cayman Islands, Dr. Jack Meaning, economist from the Bank of England, Therese Turner-Jones, the General Manager for the Caribbean Division of the IDB, and many more noteworthy speakers who you don't want to miss.
The Inter-American Development Bank supports this event and is our platinum sponsor. We're so grateful to them for their support and acknowledgement of our work.
We hope you can join us on September the 18th, 2018 at the Hilton Barbados Resort to hear what leaders in the region and in the blockchain space have to say about the role of blockchain technology in promoting social inclusion, financial empowerment and economic growth for this and future generations. See you there.
Welcome back with news from the region now. An autopsy on a 14-year-old girl found dead near her home in Arnott Gardens, Jamaica last month has revealed some gruesome results. The details in this TVJ News report.
An autopsy on the body of 14-year-old Yatanya Francis has revealed that she was stabbed to death. She was raped, murdered, and her body set ablaze near her home in Arnott Gardens, St. Andrew on August 23. Head of the Area 4 headquarters, Assistant Commissioner of Police Devon Watkis, said several persons have been questioned in relation to the case.
And on the international scene, Florence, the sixth tropical storm in the Atlantic basin this year, intensified into a hurricane on Sunday and will rapidly gain force as it churns over the open ocean toward the U.S. East Coast. Forecasters also said Hurricane Florence was likely to make landfall in the Carolinas later this week. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster urged residents during a Sunday afternoon news conference to make their plans now.
Traveling across the ocean a little slower than it was yesterday in our direction, but on the other hand, it is spinning much faster than it was yesterday. And all estimates are that it'll be spinning even faster by the time it gets to the East Coast, which apparently it is going to do, is get to the East Coast. And when it gets here, it's estimated, it may be, this is an estimate, a Category 4 hurricane, which is between 130 and 156 miles an hour. Is that whatever happens, we're going to have a lot of rain and a lot of wind. Even if the hurricane goes farther north and is anticipated in this graphic, we're still going to have a lot of water and a lot of wind.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. And you can sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Now, you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.